welcome back. Um, Today I kind of just want to talk about a big part of my life, our life as a family, and that is the military life. Um, a lot of times you hear a lot of the negative constantly on Facebook. You hear a lot of complaining, upset people about schedules, all the bad stuff. But today I want to talk about the positive stuff that the Army, okay, not just the Army, obviously my husband is in the Army and we are an Army family. So this can go for all branches of the service, but so that's what I want to talk about today. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing, when you join any kind of service, your husband, if you're a female and you're in the military, once you go through all your training, the very first thing that's going to happen is PCS. You are going to move to your new duty station wherever the Army or the Marines, the Navy, the Coast Guard, wherever they see fit, that's where you're going to go. You do get some options. You get to put in some requests, but those are never guaranteed. So wherever they can use you, that's where you're going to go. So our first PCS was to Joint Base Lewis McChord up in Fort Lewis, Washington. We were so excited when we got Washington. Dustin and I always talked about moving to Oregon or Washington before he was even in the military. We're like, oh, it's beautiful. We love the rain. It's green all the time. And so we were so excited when we found out that we were going to be moving to Washington. It's very exciting moving to a new place, and especially some place that you've never been before is so exciting. There are just so many little hidden treasures across America that you never would have even known were there, and it's just so exciting. You get to experience things that you probably never would have in wherever you lived prior. Like, we're originally from New Mexico, the hot desert. So moving to Washington was so exciting, just to see all the greenery and no more brown, because in New Mexico everything is brown, and so the green was just so beautiful, and it was quite an experience. And there's a lot of different places up there. You don't just stay stuck in one place. Obviously, you get to travel. If you have vacation, travel to the surrounding areas. Oregon, it's not far away, and it's nice there too. Good donuts. Who doesn't love a good voodoo donut? And obviously, Canada, right up north. We were lucky enough to get to go up there. We were there for 8.5 years, and we literally went to Canada for the first time, probably 3 months before we moved away to go watch the Penguins play the hockey team. So in case you aren't familiar with hockey, so, and they talk about good donuts. Okay, voodoo donuts, got nothing on Tim Hortons. The strawberry shortcake donut. Okay, enough of that. All right, next thing. And I apologize for the air conditioner. I forgot that I had it on, but it's up. It gets really hot up here in the upstairs room, and but I turned it off. It should be slowing down here shortly. But the second thing great about the military life is making friends and meeting new people. There are some of my closest, dearest friends that I never would have met in a million years if it wasn't for the military and getting us stationed the different places that we've been. And oddly, a lot of my closest friends, they're not even in the military. It's putting yourself out there and meeting new people, and you just never know who is out there waiting for you. Even when we moved here to Alabama last summer, it was super exciting. You just never know. And I have connected with some great people here. A friend of mine, she has even told me, she's like, we were just meant to meet. She has a child with special needs as well, and you get to bond over those types of things. And this time next year we're going to be living someplace else, and it's kind of exciting. What friend is waiting for me? Who do I need in my life that I don't know yet? Or who's waiting for me? How am I going to be able to have an effect on somebody else's life? And it is just really exciting. And because people are PCSing all the time, moving different places, yes, saying goodbye to good friends is always sad and hard. Luckily with social media, we do have ways to stay in contact that are a lot easier. But it's nice to have friends all over the country, so you can go on road trips and you probably know somebody somewhere close by, and that is always fun. And I really do I have got friends in Washington, I've got friends in North Carolina, I've got friends in Florida, I have friends in New Mexico, California, like you name it, I've got a friend there, and it is so much fun. So yeah, making friends and meeting new people, it's super exciting. Okay, the next thing is going to be, it's kind of related to friends, and it is finding communities and support groups. Obviously, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I have children with autism, and so getting to network and meet with other families that have, maybe some similar problems or issues that you have, and getting to relate to those people and getting new experiences and just learning off of each other. And that's a lot of fun. We also have, in the military, we've got FRG groups, family readiness groups, where whenever, our spouses are gone, or they're deployed, they're training and whatnot, we can get together and you kind of have a support system and relate to people that are going through the same thing that you are going through. So you never really feel alone. And if you do feel alone, you need to put yourself out there, because there's no need to feel alone, because there's always great support out there. Just got to find it and put the effort out. You're not going to get anything if you don't put anything out there. So that's what I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I really do enjoy the social networking aspect of it all. So yeah, get yourself out there. Okay, the next thing is learning about yourself. The military life, you do have to look at yourself, and you're going to evolve throughout the time of the military career of whoever is in the military, whether it's you or your spouse, because obviously Dustin he's deployed 7 times, he's gone for training and all this stuff. So having 2 children and not living where you do have family, you do have to learn a lot about yourself. You do learn how to be resilient. You learn what kind of strength that you have. You learn how to fix things and do things that you probably normally wouldn't have had to do before. You'll always hear a military spouse talk about Murphy's Law, and whenever, I swear, the second that your spouse is gone there and you have no more contact, something's gonna go wrong. It always does. I remember one time Dustin was on his way out of town, and literally my car broke down in the middle of the road, like hours before Dustin was leaving, and I was like, oh no, Murphy's coming early. So yeah, you can be resilient. You gotta have to be able to change your schedule, be flexible. Yeah, never make plans, because they're never gonna happen, I'm sure. But yeah, you do get to learn a lot about yourself. You do put, as a spouse, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. So you do kind of put yourself on the back burner. I don't mind, because I know my husband, he is the sole provider for our family, and he is gone so often, and I know that our children do need a stable parent at home all the time, and they are little for just so long, and so I am so grateful that I have been able to become a stay-at-home mom for all these years. And yeah, the time with my kids, that I never take that for granted. So, except, I don't know, summer's coming to an end. I'm kind of ready for school to start, but no, they are fantastic. And so, and you do get to create a kind of a special bond with your children. So yeah, that's it for that one. All right, and my last piece of information is that as a part of the military community, you do get to really have a different kind of appreciation for your spouse, for other veterans, other military families, that a regular civilian, somebody who's not accustomed to the military lifestyle, probably wouldn't understand. We are so lucky now with technology and the communication aspect. So whenever a spouse is deployed, we do have Facebook, we have Messenger, we have Skype, we have email, we've got cell phones. We could talk so often, and you really do get to have an appreciation for those veterans and those wives from World War II and all that. It's like we are so lucky that we have the conveniences that we do now, because man, talk about tough. That would be so rough having to have gone through this back in the day. So you do get to have a greater appreciation for the veterans and their families. Also, you get to learn a great appreciation for your spouse. Because Dustin has been gone so much, I really learned to appreciate the things that he does whenever he is home, appreciate the time that we have with him, and we do try to make the best of it. When he does go, though, this is, I think, a lot of people don't even think about with the military, is that we do have the chance to miss our spouse, and you get to learn the things that you do love about them, and the things that you really should appreciate, because it may not always be there. He may not always be here. You never know what's going on in the world. They don't tell you everything, and you can't just go off of what's on the news. And so, appreciation is a huge one. And yeah, a lot of families, a lot of couples, they get on each other's nerves so often. They're around each other all the time. But whenever you when your spouse leaves for 3 months at a time, when your spouse leaves for 3 months at a time, you really do get the chance to miss them and realize all the things that you really do, that you might actually take for granted, and you learn not to do that. So I think those are pretty much all my tips. You just got to remember that all the positive things that the military life does have to offer. Yes, your spouse may be gone all the time, often training, deployments, late nights at the range. You never know. But you also need to remember that you don't get everything for nothing. You do have to make some sacrifices. I am so grateful that anytime that we are sick, we do have the opportunity to just go to the doctor and not have to pay anything out of pocket. So grateful for that. Before Dustin was in the military, we had no health insurance. So we knew that we were going to have to make some sacrifices to get some things that the military did offer, and we're willing to make those sacrifices. Our children have autism, so our children get the therapies that they need. They have in the past in Washington that were super awesome. We never paid a dime out of pocket, and we knew that the military lifestyle was for us, that we were willing to give in order to get. You can't have everything for nothing, and you need to just learn to appreciate the little things and just take it all in. Don't stay home locked in your house all day complaining that you have no friends and you have no support system, because it is out there. You just got to put yourself out there, and you got to look for it and just dive right in. There's some, in every situation, there's always the good and the bad, and the path that you choose is up to you. So that is my take on the military lifestyle, and I'm choosing to look at the positives of the military lifestyle. And my husband has been in the military for 10 years now, and he's probably got another 10 to 15 years left. It is a career for him, and it is what is good for our family right now, and that's where we are headed. So please give me a like, a share, please subscribe. And if you have any more ideas, if you want to hear more of what I have to say, yeah, let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.